What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today is an update on the air suspension ride for Lionheart here, and I have to do some minor troubleshooting, but because I have a custom built setup, I decided to create this on my own. I have to do my own troubleshooting. Things like the relay harness wasn't working. I was using a LED light bar switch relay harness. Turns out that's not rated for the amount of amperage that the compressors need, because it kept frying the fuses, and it kept frying the wires, which I was telling you guys about in my last video. I was able to do a little bit of research, swap that out for an AVS dual compressor relay harness switch that I got from the guys over at California. They sent that to me in a couple of days, so I'm very thankful for that. So shout out to you guys over at AVS for that relay harness. So I really do appreciate it. Seems to be working out just fine. Now, as far as the relay switch that I had before, remember this little guy right here, it no longer works because I disconnected it from the battery. But I think what I'm going to do is I'll just leave this here for another project. But I do have another relay harness, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. This is it right here. This is the new 8-gauge wire relay harness, and if we take a look at the trunk, that is the new relay harness that's hooked up to my two dual compressors. This hasn't fried yet. Both the fuses, they're using A&L fuses that I have attached to the battery, so the wires are holding up just fine. This is the new wiring setup that I have with the two A&L fuses, two 30-amp A&L fuses. These are a lot more durable. If I take off the housing, you can see what that looks like right there. That's the fuse. Now this would be a lot more durable, and I shouldn't have any more shortage issues. But fortunately, battery, I'm just going to have to replace this battery with the new one. I have to get the thicker Optima battery because this one keeps dying on me. So and I don't think having to keep charging it and recharging it is good for it. So I'll just have to get a much durable, much stronger, long-lasting battery. Spend a few $100 on a good battery. But another reason that I'm showing you guys this update is because I still have to complete the flooring here. I got another piece of MDF board and some more jewelry liner, so I'm going to finish the fabric and finish up this entire setup, so it's going to cover this entire area. Don't know if I'm going to leave these tags on. I might do something a little bit better. But when I had it running, I swapped out the switch for a pressure switch. Now this pressure switch is rated for 150 psi, shuts off at 150 psi. I'm sorry, starts up at 150 psi and shuts off at 180 psi. The tank is rated for 200 psi, which I think that might be approaching a little bit of the danger zone, what this tank can handle. So I'm actually switching out this pressure switch because I realized on my digital gauge was showing it was hovering at 154 psi, and the compressors will not turn off. I didn't know why. So I came back here and I heard an air leak, and it turns out that the air leak was coming from my release valve right here. I did some research, and this release valve is rated for 160 psi. Now, because that pressure switch is rated for a max 180 psi, too much pressure was building up within the tank, and the tank kept releasing air through this switch right here, and it was opening up automatically. So do your homework, guys. Know how much pressure your gauges and everything is rated for. So I actually had to wait a couple more days and get a new pressure switch. This one that I got from Vixen Air is rated, let's see if I can open this up and show you guys. This pressure switch is rated for 110 on and 145 max psi on. So this should turn off once the tank reaches 145 psi, and it should not open up that little release valve that I have right here, considering that is supposed to be rated at 160, but it's give or take a few pounds because I noticed that my meter kept reading 154. What I'm going to do right now is unplug the black wire that I have on this pressure switch, unscrew that switch and replace it with this smaller PSI switch, and this should solve all of my problems. I hopefully shouldn't have any more issues with the compressor staying on, continuing to drain my battery, it should go off at 145, and then once the pressure drops to below 110 or under, it should turn on automatically and fill back up to 145 again. And this air release valve that I have here should not open up automatically. So we should be good to go on that. Can't wait to get this going because I really do want to get this car back on the road again. Has not been living up to the SVR name of this channel because it's just been sitting in my driveway for so long, draining energy, time, money. It's a process. But enough about that. The real reason that I'm showing you guys, which I know you can't wait to see, is the review of my new exhaust for Lionheart here. Take a look at this, guys. How about that? The Borla S-type muffler. And we don't come one, but two Borla S-type mufflers. One here, and there's the other one. Bam. Aside from that, I've got more goodies to share with y'all. Excuse my garage, it's a little bit of a mess still. I have two dual tip carbon fiber exhaust tips, and this will go right here. Now it's time to upgrade this bad boy for a dual tip. Now, what do you guys think? Should I go with the driver side, passenger side dual exhaust tips on both sides of the car, like this, one here and one there? Or should I bring this together like the Corvette style 4-tip exhaust? Huh? I think that'll look pretty fire, especially this being the first time that this car has ever seen anything like that. Center mounted exhaust. Now the updates don't just stop there because I am making a true effort to upgrading the actual horsepower, not just the sound note, because I love the sound of Borla, but I'm going to be making an effort to update the exhaust note, and that will come with this SLP resonator that I bought also. So I'm going to cut out the existing resonator and swap it out for this one. And the fun doesn't just stop there, guys. I'm not stopping at just the catback exhaust and the dual tips and just the resonator. I'm going full out with this entirely new exhaust system. So I have a 4-to-1 OBX header. Bam. This is going to replace the stock manifold, and this is going to increase the exhaust flow. So I am looking for quite a bit of horsepower gains from this here. Don't know exactly. I never actually put this thing on the dyno, so I don't know what it can do. I know stock is supposed to be rated at 198 horsepower to the crank, most likely, not to the wheel. But I don't know what my car can do. And quite frankly, I was never really interested on how many numbers it could pull, but it is a very fun car to drive. I love what I've done with this so far, so I think I'm overdue for putting it on to a dyno. Now, because my car didn't come with a dual mounted exhaust, it's a single mounted exhaust, I also had to get a driver side heat shield and another hanger to install underneath. So now I'll be able to mount both of the mufflers underneath my car. And in doing so means I'll need to do some welding. I have never welded before in my life, and I'm not exactly sure I'm 100% confident in doing that, but first time for everything. I'm willing to take on the challenge. So I ordered myself a starter welder pack. Just waiting for that to get into the mail soon, so I'll be able to try my hand at some of this welding. But who knows? I might actually be good at it, and I maybe even become a professional, right? That's the plan. But for right now, I need to swap out this guy with this guy right here, so I can at least get the tank going. Get this guy back up on the road, and then we'll make our first road trip with Lionheart on the new bags. First place that we're gonna go to is the liquor store because I'm out of beer, because when all of this is over and done with, I'm definitely gonna need a drink. Here's the old one rated at 180 psi. Here's the new one, rated at 145 psi. So this will be a lot more manageable. Put a little bit more Permatex sealant on it for an airtight seal. This stuff is fantastic, but it's super messy. Yeah, I don't think air is leaking out of that. Now that we've got the new pressure switch on there, the only thing left to do now is test it out. See if the compressors will turn off at around 140, 145 psi. And then if it does, then I know it's working. I'll drop it below 110 psi and the compressor should come back on. And if that works, then we can go on our beer run. Battery is completely dead.
Battery Aziz. Get another one, you moron. I think I have one in the truck.
And I'm just gonna let that sit for a while. Now that I got the battery charged some, let's see if we can get the compressors on.
No.
Man, these compressors are draining the battery like crazy. Alright guys, now I actually had to replace the battery because it was just completely shot. So I went and got myself an Optimum red top battery. So hopefully this will do the trick. I don't know if I was supposed to get the red top or the yellow top, but I ended up getting the red top. So hopefully this battery will be a lot stronger and last a lot longer than the other standard battery that I had. So now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the tank pressure and see if this number will stop at around 140, 145 ish. Once it gets up to that mark, the compressor should turn off. And I'm getting a lot of rattling inside my tank. I don't know what that rattling could be. Maybe it's just some file shavings inside the tank itself, but if any of you guys had any experience with rattling inside your tank, let me know what you guys found. I hope it's just something dumb. I haven't been able to take off the tank yet to see what's inside or shake it around, but I hope it's just like metal shavings or something inside the tank, because I don't think anything is loose. All right, we're at 127, 128, 129, 130. All right, let's see. About another 10 more psi, and that pressure switch should turn off at 145 or 140. 145. All right, well, it's still going. Oh, there we go. It just shut off. 148, 149. Okay, good. So that tells me that the pressure switch is working for the shut off. Now what I'm going to do is air up, and I'm going to decrease the pressure to under 110. I never get tired of that. All right, compressor just kicked on, and this thing is good to go. So now we can go on our beer run. That never gets old. All right, beer, here I come. suspension's a little bouncy. I wasn't expecting that. Got some more minor adjusting to do, but overall feels good. Feels good. I'm happy with it. All right, guys. So here we are at the store. Hopefully, I can get there before they close. Got the beer. The best beer ever made. Thank you, Sam Adams. So I gotta say, got the suspension going. I took a road trip out to the store, got the beer. I say this day is a huge success. So thanks again for watching, everybody. Please stay tuned because we got more on the way. My new Borla dual Borla muffler exhaust has just come in the mail today. That is going to be a fantastic build. So you guys have been wanting to see what that looks like. Please stay tuned for more. Turn my lights on so I can see. But that's going to be an exciting build too, because I'm really looking forward to the exhaust note. I'm looking forward to the increase in power too, but I'm really looking forward more to the exhaust note from the dual Borla muffler. So you guys, thank you for watching. I'm really excited about all of this. It's going to be a huge improvement for this car. So I'm not done by any means necessary. I still got a long ways to go with this car. So please stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please subscribe. Helps me out a great deal. Let me know what you think in the comments. Any questions you might have, I'll do the best I can to help you guys out. But until next time, you guys, love what you do what you love, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. I brought one more pull for the road. Come on, car, get out the way.